Hey and welcome to another episode of Toby Investigates. In this video I am going to be looking at e-bikes. I want to know what the benefits are and mainly what you guys can get out of them. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at an overview of an e-bike. Now on first inspection there isn't really much that is different from a regular bike. We've still got the same gearing, same wheels, same brakes, same contact points. But there are three main differences from a regular non-e-bike that you might be able to spot. No points there. The most obvious is the battery pack, and that's on the down tube. It's mounted low to keep the weight nice and low and keep the bike nice and stable. This is where all of your power that supplies the pedal assist motor will come from. Moving on to the motor, that is located here. It's a little bit more hidden if I move the crank arm. This is where all of the gearing is and where the power actually transfers into your drivetrain here to help you move along. Now it's important to remember that this is pedal assist. It's not just a throttle and a twist and go. That means anything that you put in, it's going to add more power to it. It's basically like having a little Chris Froome in here, I've heard people say. And lastly, and probably not the most obvious thing, but is part of all e-bikes, is the head unit here. Now that gives you information about the entire motor setup, about how much battery you've got left, how much range you've got left, and will also give you readings as well, things like average speed and things like that, distance covered, etc. So there's a couple of key questions that I can hear you guys asking, and that is, what speed can I do and what range can I do? Well, the motor in England is restricted to helping you up to 15.5 miles an hour or 25 kilometers an hour. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but when you consider the average moving speed of a car through a city is about 18 miles an hour, you're pretty much up there. You're not losing out too much on an e-bike. The range on one of these, well, on a full charge, if you have it at absolutely maximum output, which could be up to 400 watts or even more, you could get 60 kilometers out of that. On a lower power setting, so it's giving you less assist, you get up to 120 kilometers. That could be a full week's commute on just one charge. And charging, well, that's easy too. You literally just plug it into the mains and it charges up like any other battery, just like your phone, for instance. So let's cut to the chase. That was all numbers, but what does it mean for you or I in the real world? Well, I think it's time we took this out in the real world and put it through its paces. I'm at the local velodrome in order to put to test the pull-away ability of an e-bike. Now imagine this, you're in town, you're at traffic lights, there's a boatload of cars behind you and you want to get ahead of them fast. Well, an e-bike allows you to do that. And to demonstrate just how easy it is, I'm going to pit it against a flat-out sprinting machine, a BMX. I'm going to race myself, film myself both times on the track, and then we're going to compare and see which one pulls away easier.
Okay, so first up is the BMX. I'm really going to put in as much effort as I can to pull away here, and as you can see, pretty speedy off the mark. Now, next up is the e-bike. Now, I'm really not going to have to put in as much effort in here because the motor is going to assist me in pulling away. Let's have a look. Yep, looks pretty speedy to me. So let's take a look at those two clips again in slow-mo compared. So both bikes, one against the other. And look in here, you can see it's pretty inseparable. Very, very impressive for an e-bike, which probably weighs about 3 times as much as the BMX. Especially as you can see here that I'm just sitting down and relaxing. Really, really useful if you're trying to get away from traffic sitting behind you or the joggers chasing you around the velodrome.
Okay, so we've successfully tested one of the strong points of this bike, which is its ability to pull away from a standing start. But now I want to move on to something a bit more ambitious. I want to test the other area where these bikes really excel, and that is going uphill. Now the power assist motor will assist me up to 26 kilometers an hour, which is pretty fast by anyone's standards if you're going uphill. Faster, in fact, than the ex-world champion road cyclist Michał Kwiatkowski. There's a segment here in Brighton known as Bear Road. And it's about 1.5 kilometers in length. It's about 9 or 10% average gradient. And the aforementioned Kwiatkowski currently holds the record. Well, today I'm going to set myself the ambitious task of smashing it on this. So I've got my Garmin set up. Let's head over to the road and have a stab.
Okay, moment of truth, back from the ride. Let's plug in the Garmin and see if I'm now a professional road cyclist. Oh! I've got to say, let me show you this. Here we go. Here we are. Right there. Mika Kurakowski. Toby Investigates. I was just a few seconds off the pace. Look at that. But you know what? 4th. Not too bad. So what can we conclude from this test? Well, fortunately, I don't think I'm going to get a contract from Team Sky on my doorstep anytime soon, even though I am now firmly within the ranks of a professional cyclist. Unfortunately though, it's the bike that got me there, it's not myself. And I can't really be proud of that, so I'm going to have to delete this Strava file. But there is something interesting we can take away from this. If I'd have done that time on a regular road bike, I'd be a hot, sweaty, gasping for air mess at the top of that hill. Probably wouldn't even be able to function as a regular human being. However, I've just done that on that e-bike, and getting to the top, I was fine. I wasn't out of breath, I wasn't sweating, I could have been in a suit on my way to work, for instance. And that is the most amazing thing about the e-bike. I could have had a rack full of shopping as well, as heavy as you like. So, you can't not be impressed with how the e-bike just takes all of that load and laughs at it in the face. Takes me to the top of that hill. And I'm pretty astounded at just how easy it was to maintain that speed the entire way up the hill.
So there we have it, e-bikes in a nutshell. Today I've proven that there is no longer any need to be worried about having to stop or slow down because it's easy to get back up to speed again, and also there's no need to be worried about any sort of hill, even mountain on your ride in the future, because an e-bike will handle it with ease. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm hoping that some of what I've shown and demonstrated today is going to help you make decisions on e-bikes in the future. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below or get in touch with us on any of our social networks. That's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Until the next time, enjoy the ride.